I had a partner named Monique, and we met in Los Angeles, and we were together 1 week short of 20 years. Monique passed away. I really miss her sometimes. It's been difficult to even date other people since that, and I know that sounds kind of strange, but she's my soulmate. And how do you find another soulmate? I think we only have one. It really helps to have someone in your life that you can count on, and I miss that in my life more than anything else.
As LGBT people age, of course, we face the range of challenges and opportunities that anybody faces as they get older. But there are some things that are particular to the LGBT experience. We are 4 times less likely to have kids than heterosexuals. For older generations of LGBT folks, they're twice as likely to be single and living alone. They're much more likely to be disconnected from their families of origin. That in turn creates a need for greater aging services, but there are many barriers to access to those services. When you put all that together, it can be very challenging to age as an LGBT person, and SAGE exists to address those issues.
When we first started the work here in SAGE, I actually had people, come to me and say, "You mean we have LGBT older adults in St. Louis?" And I had to laugh. It was like, well, we don't, turn straight at 65, and we don't all move to Florida. We are here in St. Louis, we're aging, and we need to make sure that our older adults are being supported and that they have access to services.
I had to retire early due to the economy and being laid off of my job, and found myself having to walk away from my home, not being able to make the mortgage, and finding a place to live, which would fit in with my new income, which is very difficult. So I contacted SAGE, and we had several conferences on low-income housing and some of my options, and I was able to find a facility that fits my income.
In 2011, SAGE launched our National Resource Center on LGBT Aging in partnership with a number of organizations around the country.
The National Resource Center project is the first program paid for by the federal government strictly or primarily for LGBT issues, which in itself is a landmark.
One of the challenges that we see is that many aging service providers across the country simply don't have the information, the knowledge, the training they need to treat LGBT elders well and support them. And that is the primary mission of the National Resource Center, is to provide that training.
The impact that the National Resource Center has had in St. Louis has meant to us, the first time that we've been able to really bring and deliver a cultural competency training specifically on LGBT older adults to our providers and partners within the St. Louis region.
I think some of the programs SAGE has to educate people in nursing homes, hospitals, government workers about the needs of aging LGBT people is a major step.
The Equal Housing Opportunity Council and SAGE are partners in an effort in the city of St. Louis to raise awareness of issues affecting the LGBT community. One of the components of that was really getting an understanding about the issues that face a person on a day-to-day basis that affect their quality of life. We had never had the conversations that we had in this room until we had that training.
For me, it was really being able to bring a curriculum to St. Louis that we can show is research-based and is being used on a national basis. So it really starts to ensure that organizations across the United States are receiving the same information and knowledge that will help ensure equal access and quality services for our LGBT older adults.
I think when an organization tries to change the system, the donors have to be patient. It doesn't happen overnight, but SAGE is there, and there is a demonstrable record of change, and I'm sure there'll continue to be great change.
Without the support of foundations and funders, this work stops. When I think about the Gill Foundation and what they've brought to LGBT aging, without that funding, we wouldn't see the types of services that are being offered for LGBT older adults.
LGBT seniors are just like anyone else. We want a fair shake. We want to feel comfortable. We want to feel secure. We just want to be respected.